So welcome to the structural analysis 2 video lecture. In this lecture number 2 from unit 3, that is approximate method of analysis, a topic of approximate method for horizontal forces, that is Portal method, will be explained. In the previous video, introduction of the approximate methods and substitute frame method is explained, and here application for the approximate method for horizontal forces, Portal method, is explained. So approximate method for analysis of horizontal forces, the previously was for vertical forces and this is for horizontal forces. So as discussed earlier, three methods are used for this. So three methods are used. The first one is we have a Portal method, and the second one is cantilever method, and third one is factor method. So in this video I will show you how to use Portal method for analysis. So in the Portal method, the following assumptions are made. So these two assumptions are most important. So the first is point of contraflexure. That means where the bending moment changes the sign or the bending moment is 0. So point of contraflexures occurs at the middle of all the members of the frame. This is first point. And horizontal shear taken by each interior column is double of that taken by external columns. Suppose we have, so only columns I am drawing here. So if this is a frame which has 5 columns, and if the force of this column is P, and also this column is also P, horizontal force. So horizontal forces are generally wind forces. So these are already discussed in structural engineering 1 as basics in the very starting lectures. So this is intermediate, these 1, 2 and 3. These 3 columns are intermediate columns, and the horizontal shear taken by each interior column is double of that taken by exterior columns. So the external columns is having P, so the interior columns will have 2P, as horizontal shear. For this also we have 2P, and also for this column we have 2P. So with these two assumptions, the frame becomes a determinate one. So this is the main importance for approximate analysis, is that we have to make a frame a determinate from indeterminate one. So if you assume these two, so you can tell that the frames becomes determinate. So horizontal forces are assumed to act only at joints. So listen here, we see horizontal forces P1 is acting at joint, and also P2 is also acting at joint. Fine. So this is P, this is shear force, and this is double the shear force, and this is also double the shear force, and this is shear force. Fine. And this is also the same. This is double. This is Q, this is 2Q, 2Q and Q. This is what explained in the second assumption. So coming to the problem, so this is P1, you can see in the topmost A, B, C, D, A, B, C and D here. So P1, if you take this, so P1 being right side is acting at right side, we assume that P, 2P, 2P and P, that means 1, 2, 3 and 4. These 4 forces are acting in opposite direction to P1, and P1 can be solved by using simple engineering mechanics, as P is equal to P1 by 6. So by that we know the shear, horizontal shear for all the columns. Next, so here we have to be careful. So this, so to find Q, we have to find Q. What happens is that, so while finding Q, we have to consider P1 and P2 as horizontal forces, but we must not consider this P2P forces for these columns. So while solving this, we have to consider P1 and P2 horizontal force, and for column shear we have to consider Q, 2Q, 2Q and also Q. Only these 1, 2, 3, 4. Only these 4 forces must be considered as opposite force, but right side force P1 and P2 have to be considered. So Q is nothing but P1 plus P2 by 6. So if we have one more floor downwards to that, we have to consider, and if it is P3, so we have to consider P1 plus P2 plus P3, and we have to add the forces of that column shear only. So moment at end columns is given by column shear into height of column divided by 2. So this is a small mistake, and height of column divided by 2, that means column shear into height of column divided by 2. So moment at the end of the column. So here if you want to find the moment at end of the column, that means here or A or B or C or D, so column shear, this we get column shear into half of the height of the column. So this is half of the height of the column. So this is applied only if we are considering this. That means if we want to find here this column shear P into, suppose the height of the column is L here, P into L divided by 2. And if you want to find the column shear, if you want to find the B moment at E, at joint E, so here column shear is taken as Q and total length is considered as L by 2. Column shear is taken as Q only, and that means again I am writing here Q into, suppose this is L and this is L1, Q into L plus L1 divided by 2. So this is the difference in finding the first story and second story. So this is most important, and this is a very easy method for solving the number of problems. So moment at end columns is the formula which I have told you. So calculating the moments at all the required positions, that means at all the ends we have to calculate the moments. A diagram representing the moments and column shear is drawn by which the analysis part gets completed by portal frame method. And before that there is a diagram showing the different movements. So that means we have to draw this movement again, sorry, we have to draw this diagram again, and movements is written like this, here clockwise, anti-clockwise, and also here like this. In this manner we have to write all the movements. So for A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and if the frame is like this, we have to draw the frame again and write the movements like this. So what the importance is that, coming back to the important assumptions which is asked in the short answer questions, that is, the first assumption is that point of contraflexure occurs at the middle of the members of the frame. So that we have already shown by using this red symbol. I forget to mention, these are nothing but the point of contraflexures. So it occurs at the middle of the all the members of the frame. So if you observe all the members A, B, B, C, C, D, D, H, H, G, F, all the members, the red dot is there in the middle, and this is nothing but the point of contraflexure that acts at the exactly middle. The second one is that horizontal shear taken by each interior column is double of that taken by exterior columns. So this is also important. I am explaining once again because it is the most asked question in short answers. So this is P used in external, and this is 2P and also P. So this is regarding the portal frame method, and it is very easy to understand. Even a dumb student can easily solve the problem using portal frame method. So thank you for watching this video. In the next video, let us discuss one more method of approximate methods, that is cantilever method. Thank you for watching this video.